Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I want to show you how I was able to get this trade entry using the power of ICT top-down analysis. So I think last month I did a top-down analysis and I was supposed to actually post it, but for some reason I could not really post it. I wanted the whole trade to play out. I wanted the whole trade to play out before, or the whole setup to play out before I can, completely talk about the top-down analysis. But I'm going to chip in the first 5 minutes of the top-down analysis I did. That analysis I did was from the monthly time frame. I did the analysis, or from the weekly time frame. So I'll be playing the video now before I continue with how I was able to get this trade. Alright guys, so today we'll be looking at Euro USD and we want to do a top-down analysis. So this is the 1 week time frame and you can see this visible shift or sweep of liquidity I'm about to draw here. So this is a sweep of liquidity from the weekly time frame. So price took out that swing low. Yeah, so from what we can see there, after a sweep of liquidity like this, you expect price to drop to the opposite direction after a sweep of liquidity. So that is what I'm anticipating from the weekly time frame. Then if you go further to looking at the daily time frame, you will also see what we have there. So from the weekly time frame, I'm anticipating this drop at most to balance up price action. Then if you go further to check out price action here on the daily time frame, you're going to see what we have here on the daily time frame. So this is what price looks like here on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, it's not really looking like a sweep of liquidity, more like a breakout structure there. But if you look at to the other side of the chart here by the candlestick here, if I should zoom in, you'll see that there's something more like a fair value gap, a bearish fair value gap there, that point there. Let me see if I can draw it out. So that is the bearish fair value gap. So I'm expecting price to try to mitigate this bearish fair value gap maybe on Monday, because I'm doing this analysis as of Sunday. So I'm actually expecting price to trade back to the fair value gap as to continue selling, giving us that overall bearish movement based off what we had in the weekly time frame. So that's what I'm anticipating here from the 4-hour time frame. And if you're looking at it here, we now have a concise point of interest. So it's still at the same point or area of interest. The daily fair value gap is also around the 4-hour fair value gap zone, if you're looking at it from there. Although I'm seeing chances or opportunities of buys here, because actually we'll be buying down to the fair value gap before we can start selling. So I'm actually seeing some possibilities of buy entries around this level. So that is where you have to start buying. You buy from there and you stop at this box. Yeah, so let me zoom in, let you see. So from these 4 hours you could see something here. Let me draw it out so you can see it here. After this sell movement we are expecting, but if you want to take advantage of the buy move, you can see that price is a little bit visible here for those that want to get into the market after a sweep of liquidity here. You can see that this is a very good sweep of liquidity here. So what else are you looking for? You go down to the 1-hour time frame and you look out for a shift in market structure, which we have here with momentum. Let me draw it out also so you can see that. So this is the sweep of liquidity, very obvious that that's a good sweep of liquidity. Then let me mark out the market structure shift, showing you that price is about to go bullish from here now. So we can literally start our retracement from here down to the point of interest. So where price took out this swing high is a shift in market structure. You can see that momentum, and I feel like if you want to trade this now, it should have been on Friday, because looking at here you have a bullish fair value gap which price has already mitigated right from here. You can see that weak trading side. Let me just show you. So if you want to even trade this, you would have entered on Friday evening. Looking at that now, price has already mitigated this fair value gap, so I'm not expecting price to even come back to this level again. If you want to take your trade, you should be like in this trade from here down to this point of interest I have here. That's the daily fair value gap, or price can still want to do more, but that is where I would say will be a nice target for me. So if you can enter in the Asian section on Monday, it's still very okay to trade from there because price has already mitigated the 1 hour fair value gap. So I'm expecting price to move from here, right? So let's just see how it's going to play out here on Monday. So I'll just be waiting. So this is what this trade looks like currently now, although I'm not in the trade because I don't trade Asian session. So just like you saw in that video when I did the analysis, I started from the weekly time frame, and on the weekly time frame I was actually anticipating a drop after the sweep of this liquidity here. This is a very good sweep of liquidity from this high, so I was anticipating a drop from this level. Then back to the daily time frame where I saw this fair value gap to be a good point of entry down to this low. This was my target. This has always been my overall target. This was my overall target here. So I was actually trying to sell from this daily fair value gap here, but for some reason Euro USD has not really been printing out good prices. Like if you check on the 4 hours in that point of interest there, you'll see that inside of this fair value gap you can see how price was just acting randomly here. You cannot really hold on to it, but I went instead to trade the correlating pair. The correlating pair of Euro USD is actually GBP USD, so they are positively correlated pairs and they actually move in line with each other, although sometimes they can be not correlating totally, but 80% of them they correlate. So let me show you GBP USD. I've been also trading both of them hand in hand, but not always here. So if you look at it here from that daily time frame where okay, this one is actually weekly time frame. The same thing happened here, the same sweep, daily time frame. I want to show you from the daily fair value gap I had as my first point of interest, which is here. This is it here. So I traded GU. I think I traded GU instead of EU. So sometimes GU do present good opportunities than Euro USD. So anyone that is clearer is the one I just take that for that day. But I just know that both of them have two objectives. Like this one now, if you check on the 4 hours on my point of interest here, you'll see that there was actually a very good delivery in price action here. But if you go to Euro USD only 4 hours from that point of interest, you see that price was fluctuating here. It was very hard to tell or gain a good entry from here. So I think I either missed out GU from that level or I traded it. I'm not very sure. Okay, I've not really been trading GU, so but you can see that I tried at most three times to take GU trade. I'll chip in those pictures if I actually have them, screenshot of those trade. So why this one was forming, I also noticed that GU also created a good point of interest fair value gap. Sorry, I'm digressing from EU, but I just want to show you that EU and GU are positively correlated, and I trade with both of them hand in hand here. So why Euro USD was not giving out a very good point of interest here? If you look at it here, this is same 4 hours. This was a fair value gap, and I had there to be liquidity. I wanted to sell from. I wanted to sell from this liquidity here because I was looking out for price to fill up this imbalance, this fair value gap here, right here, before I could join Euro USD. But Euro USD did not really give out that proper market structure, but GBP USD did that. So I think I took GBP USD. So I think I traded GBP USD after this other sweep of liquidity in this high here. But any pictures I can find, I will show you. So after the sweep of liquidity from this high, I think I took that trade, and you can see how it respected this fair value gap also respected the daily fair value gap. So for some moment or for some reason, I was now stuck up with GU instead of EU because GU was actually playing out to this price action. They were actually respecting each of the key levels I marked out instead of EU. EU was just fluctuating around those levels and was not giving out good opportunities. So the main aim was to take those trades that gives you good opportunities. So this one was not really happening. So later on, I saw this break of structure here, and price kept on playing. And yeah, by this time when EU actually played out for once, I was now focused on GU because for some times now during the analysis I've been doing during those weeks, GU have been respecting those key levels for more than EU. So now you can see this was when GU had its own break of structure here. I told you they are positively correlated pairs. So GU had its own break of structure here. Although it was very hard to get this point of interest, I later went down to 1 hour. You see, I had my alarm set here so that I could know when price get to this level. Okay, 1 hour now. You could see what happened here. Price reacted to this fair value gap here. So I was actually thinking that price was going to come back for this other block because it looked very nice for price to mitigate instead of holding on to this fair value gap. That was why I had this limit or this alarm here, but instead price did not do that, and I further went back to 5 minutes when I saw something. Let me show you guys on 5 minutes around that place there. 5 minutes I saw was it on the 1 minute? I saw a shift in market structure here. I saw a shift in market structure around this low here on the 1 minute. So I was just targeting this other high that London session was going to take out, this Asian high around there. So if you see, this was Wednesday. If you look at the time, this is Wednesday crossing down to New York session, right? So I think this was the Asian high, stuff like it was around this level. But I just know that here was my inducement, and I wanted to see price take out this high so I could enter. I did place my limit order, and I missed this one also. So I did not enter this one. Meanwhile, EU was actually not still giving out good prices. So yeah, price came to target so fast, and you go back to the hour of my point where I do find my point of interest again. You see that I missed the whole of this place here, and coming back to this session again here on the 1 hour. Let me show you how was I. Okay, coming back to this session, I saw this huge shift in market structure here from the 15 minute. That was why I wanted to take this trade here. You can see this is a very good shift in market structure from this level here, showing that price has finished retracing. That's the bullish retracement. So I saw that shift in market structure. This was supposed to be my second entry, and price also did not respectfully. So let's go now to like yesterday trade. All this happened due to the fact that I was able to do those top-down analysis at first. If you check out EU was not really giving out good setup as at that range here. You can see EU was actually fluctuating around there. That was why I was more focused on GBP USD. So you see, this was my first attempt, second attempt, and yesterday my third attempt in taking part of this whole advantage, knowing that I was going to have a downtrend after that sweep of liquidity in the weekly time frame. That was what I was trying to do, take advantage of the trend. You will see I could not really retrace back, even like I was not counter trading throughout because I just wanted to be focused on that trend. So back to yesterday, I hit stop loss on GU for some reasons I don't really know why. So this is it here, GU on the 1 hour time frame. We had this fair value gap as usual, but GU was not straightforward. You can see this is a fair value gap, and inside of the fair value gap the mitigation has been done already, like price mitigated the fair value gap, and I entered after the confirmation on 5 minutes here. Let me show you the confirmation. You can see where I entered was around here, somewhere around here. Then I targeted the high of where that fair value gap was formed. So after this confirmation, I don't know why price went back. This is where I entered back to this high. I don't know why price really went back to, should I say, mitigate this point of interest again, because for me I didn't want to see anything happen above this level of mitigation. As I trade my own strategy, if a particular point of interest is being mitigated, I always feel like there's no reason for price to mitigate that level again unless it wants to break out from that range. And my target was actually this low here, this low. That's where my TP was, but I first caught it on Euro USD, and there's something I also know. I know that Euro USD is a weaker pair than GBP USD, so I was actually feeling that Euro USD might not have the strength to push back. Might not have the strength to push back much as GU. So this is the same analysis, the same setup, the same entry model, but everything is just the same. Yeah, the only reason I'm still on this trade is because Euro USD did not really push up like like GU. So yeah, I entered this one immediately after I noticed this market structure shift, just like I did for EU. So this was where I entered the trade here after that retracement, and that was just how this price ran down to my level of take profit here. So like I said, I'm targeting this low because I feel like price is going to take out this low. So this is my target for this trade here, this low here. So let me show you on the MT5. So this is what it looks like on MT5 daily time frame. So it's almost 2 days, like it's been 2 days since I entered the position, and yeah, this is where we are here on this trade here. So the first one has hit take profit, and I'm still on the second one here. So I'll just be waiting to hit full TP here. So I'm also going to set break even, although I don't feel like anything is going to take this price down. So I've done over 10 hours on this particular trade here. All this is because I was able to map out my point of interest right on time, know where I'm actually going to and how I want to do that. So that's just it. Don't forget to like, share this video and subscribe to the channel also. Thank you.